Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are very, very sorry for a little bit of a delay in the whole scheme, and we are live now, so that's a good thing. And I would like to introduce you guys to the vocalist of the band called Burning Bitches, and we'll be talking about music and all different kinds of stuff here. So you're more than welcome to chat with us, and let's have a good time. All right, I would like to introduce you, Laura Guldemond. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here she is. I would just unmute her, and there we are. How are you doing, Laura?
Hello, I'm good. Yeah, I'm happy we got the technical problem solved.
Right.
Yeah, it's nice here. To be honest, I'm really yeah, it's I'm happy because the sun is shining. It's spring, so it's all good.
That is great. That is great. So how has the COVID times treated you? Like since let's say 2020, what have you been up to? What were your activities? And
Yeah, it was a different time, right? Yeah, it's so let me try to see. I have to post because I don't know how this works. Never mind. Okay, I did a little bit of a live thing to invite people over. But so what did I do? I was yeah, really busy with the album.
right.
That's one thing that I was actually grateful to have the time that it was Corona and that there was a bit more focus, to just work on the album until everyone was happy, and that's cool. But besides that period, yeah, it's just a bit boring, right? Because there are less gigs and you can't go out with friends or stuff like that. So
Have you
yeah, that's why.
Did you guys have had plans already with the band that you guys had some shows in 2020 and 2021 already?
Yeah, we had to cancel, a whole tour and a lot of festival gigs, and yeah, and in 2021 now, the end of the year, we got something planned, like the tour with Primal Fear, and hopefully that goes on, and that's also in the start of 2022. So I keep my hopes up for that.
All right. Well, that's great. That's great. So tell us, like, we are more. I believe that you mentioned that you don't have that much time today. So thank you, first of all, for bringing out yourself out of the very, very busy schedule that you have to bring us, to give us time a little bit to chat with the people as well and all that. So one of the first things that I would like to know is, like, how did the whole thing started for you? Like, what was the thing that you started getting into the music business? Or
Ah,
music was a thing for you that you thought that, okay, well, hey, this is definitely for me and I want to do that.
I wanted to be a guitarist.
All
And
right.
then I turned into a singer. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Interesting.
just, yeah, I just love that in metal. It's very guitar based, of course. Yeah, without guitars, there's no metal. And yeah, I just wanted to play all these shred solos and stuff like that. So I tried, but I was not that good.
Mm-hmm.
So I just took the chords and I started to sing along also. And yeah, I just really, practice every day at some point because I loved singing so much, and I don't know why it turned out for me to be easier to be motivated for singing. I'm not sure why exactly. Um, yeah, I'm not sure to be honest, but anyway, this is how it started. It started with hearing on the radio bands like Within Temptation, and because of that, I went to the record shop. I looked through the CDs, and I found Wasp next to it, and I was like, "Whoa, this is also really cool." It's for people that don't know them. So Within Temptation is symphonic metal, and then Wasp is yeah, kind of like classic heavy metal, but with a bit of rock and roll style, glam style, but really dark. So way, way different.
Right.
Yeah,
Talking about
that's how
Within
it started.
Temptation, because Ruud Yearly is a very, very good friend of mine, and he just wrote me
Oh,
yesterday
cool.
talking about that you were his student.
Yes.
All right. That's
He
very
called us.
interesting.
He called us. Yeah, he was very funny. At some point, he said to the whole class, like, "Hey, why is no one paying attention anymore?" But that was because he was joking all the time and making stupid jokes, like that everyone were his little minions and stuff like that. Anyway, it was always fun.
No, he's a great fellow. He's a fantastic guy, anyways. But it's about you that we are more interested about. So, what was the age roundabout that you started your first band, and what was the first band that you had? What was the name
First
of it, if
band.
you remember it?
Yeah, my first band. That's a good question. Which was the first one? I think it was Sweet Lake City, if I translate it in English. So Dutch. It was actually a Dutch band. Hey, no, I think it was actually Sweet Lake City. They translated to, yeah. Anyway, it was, yeah, that was what it was called, and it was named after the city we were in, which is Zoetermeer, and that means Sweet Lake. So
All right.
that's why it was called like that.
Okay.
That was my first band, and it was actually at like this, pop school for young people, and we were just doing covers, and at some point started to write some stuff, and we did all kind of pop rock music.
All
It was
right.
fun. Yeah,
Nice.
and then yeah.
Cool. Cool. So, if I remember it correctly, by the time that we got to meet, you had a band called Shadow Rise, if I remember it correctly, right?
Yeah, that was more serious, yeah.
All right. So, was that the second band that you had, like, professionally, or were there in between the bands as well that you had and you made or you were part of?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of the first super serious band, I guess, because we were working very hard.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I got, also in a really fun band, and we were kind of trying, but not super hard or something. But it was really fun. It was in Antoria, and Antoria was more like symphonic metal, like like Nightwish-ish.
All right.
And but I didn't sing like that. It was also the way I sang in Shadow Rise with more a power metal voice. But I would say the music was more like Nightwish, so it was different. It was fun, like totally crazy people in there. I had really lots of fun.
All right.
But yeah, I was just looking for people that were really motivated to conquer the world. So
Right. Right. Okay. Well, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But what about your
Yeah.
influences? What would you say, who has been your favorite vocalist that has inspired you or influenced you the most?
Ooh, the most. That's
Hmm.
difficult because it's not just one vocalist for me. I'm really a vocalist that likes to try out different stuff and different things. So I kind of want to listen to every vocalist I think is good, which it can be Sharon Den Adel, but I never sing like that, from Bit of Temptation. But it can also be the singer from Wasp. But I mean, I really take little parts of everything, and I wanted to sing like her in the beginning.
Right.
And then I couldn't because I was super, super, super bad at singing like, I couldn't. My voice would break. And
All right.
I wasn't experienced enough. And then I started like, I'm taking too long, right? Yeah. You want to go on
No,
to the next question? I see.
no.
No?
I'm just
Okay,
actually
okay.
bringing my chat from that screen to that screen so that I'm able to, focus on the chat
Oh,
as
okay,
well,
okay.
if the chat is going around. By the way, people, I'm reading the chat, so you're more than welcome to even, submit some questions if you have any, so that I'm able to pick out few and ask Laura the questions as well. But go ahead, you were
Right.
continuing something.
Yeah, okay. So I basically started with the final countdown at some point, because I was slightly more comfortable with that. It was
Right.
kind of in my usual range. But when I tried, the chorus, I was just really learning, It was at some point the neighbors were shouting along because they knew, oh, here it's coming again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was loud.
Right. So,
Yeah.
what about, like, what drives you today as well besides music? I mean, we're gonna go back and forth with many different questions. What drives you the most besides music? I mean, of course, music is something that you do probably on the daily basis or had been before Corona, I believe.
Yeah. What
Um,
drives me? Ooh, that's yeah. You specify that a bit more. It's a difficult question.
well, it's something like, do you have any sports activities that you do? Do you have any, like, are
Yeah.
you a gamer? Do you like to play games, or do you like to, you know, uh, just something that drives you to create, that drives you in life
Okay.
as well, something
Yeah.
that,
Okay. Yeah, but that's so difficult. What drives me in life? Oh, yes. Whew, deep questions. Yeah, I love
exactly.
to work out. I love to work out, but it's more because because now I do fitness, but that's because it's easy to do whenever I want to do it. So yeah, at some point I got really, really busy with music, like also with my studies. And if you do like a musical course and you have to travel, because I was traveling 4 hours a day to get to the school
Uh-huh.
and to get back. So there's only that much time left on a day, right? Because you also have to practice your stuff and you have to I don't know, do your own bands, do things. So
Right.
and yeah, so fitness was the choice for me because it's just you can just do it whenever you want. Basically, there was like a 24-hour
Right.
fitness. But yeah, it's such a difficult question because to be honest, yeah, I just like to work on my musical stuff and try to get further in that. And next to that, I think I'm like an introvert. So I really love to be home sometimes with my boyfriend and watch Netflix,
Right.
cuddle, the cute stuff. That's kind of what drives me. I like this. Um, yeah, these chill times, but I love to go crazy on stage after that or something.
All
I
right.
think that's it.
So,
Yeah.
talking about, you were just mentioning about school. You did not tell which school, what school, and what
Yeah,
did you
that's
do?
that's the one. That's the
Mm-hmm.
one from Ruth. So that's
Mm-hmm.
the Metal Factory, and yeah, I really wanted to study music at some point because I wanted to get better. And
Right.
there were techniques I couldn't do that well, like singing a little bit with distortion and stuff like that. I really loved, for example, how Lizzie Hill did that from Hailstorm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I gave that as an example also during my audition that I wanted to learn that. So basically, I auditioned also with one of their songs. I think it
Mm-hmm.
was Love Bites, and I just couldn't do the distortion. So I basically told them, yeah, I would like to sing this one better.
Right. Right.
Stuff
That's
like that, yeah.
interesting. So, was the audition then, what was the audition process? I mean, what did you have to do there? Do you have to sing one song or?
Yeah, preferably with your own band.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically, they kind of want to see what you want, but also what you're capable of. So you kind of want to choose something you're still comfortable with, but that also really shows what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did, and I just took a few photos of my bands with me, like, hey, this is what I did, this is what I did. I want to be able to. Yeah, I was not good at motivational stuff. Basically, I was super super obsessed, basically, with getting a better singer at that moment. So I really wanted to be super good. Basically, I mean, I kind of got there. There's still things I think could be better, and I'm still, mastering the control of some things. But it's still one of the main reasons, why I like singing. I just like to improve all the time, and I think it's part
Right.
of the fun for me. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so talk about now the bands. Do you recall and do you remember? I bet you would remember because what was your first tour that you were on? Where was it? With which band was it?
The
And
first tour.
mhm.
Yeah, actually, it was with Shadow Rise, I think. Yeah, because we had like we organized a lot of it ourselves, I believe. We had some gigs that were arranged for us, but we kind of arranged travels that we would go there with. We rented a little bus, so we couldn't really sleep in it, but we had, how are these things called? Bed and breakfasts.
Yeah.
And you have this site online, and then you can just rent people's places that they're not at home, and that basically you can get the key out of a box on the door, basically. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
we were seriously spending the nights in some really cool, almost villa-like houses. It was kind of fun.
Right.
It was really funny to do. Yeah, that was the first tour. So we went, I think, to France and Germany and Belgium, the Netherlands, and yeah, just a small, really, a small Western European tour for 5 gigs or something. That was the first one. Yeah.
Right. Right. So, but now talking about Shadow Rise, I don't know exactly how the transition happened. So now you have to tell us about like what happened about Burning Witches. How did you end up in that band and what was the
Yeah.
transition like and how did that come about?
Yeah, it was a pretty it was kind of all of a sudden because they were looking for someone right before the festival season. And they would really prefer to go into the festival season with the new singer because they knew that Serena wanted to quit. So yeah, they wanted to be pretty fast. So at that moment, it was actually a pretty turbulent time for me. Turbulent because I just moved cities. I changed job. I divorced actually. So it was a big change. Altogether, it was a big change. So I actually was doing a slightly less than I would normally want to do with music already. So because of this, so everything came all at once. So it was just whoa, it just happened. It felt like it all happened way too fast. But it was okay. I kind of like they shouldn't have come earlier too. They were just at the right moment, I think, to ask me. I was just settled down basically, but it was like there was almost no room for me to settle down in between. They asked me because they knew from Sonia that I liked the old school stuff because we played in this Kiss tribute together. Then they actually, because I tried to do an all-female Kiss tribute, but it was really difficult to find all the female members that, one person got sick at some point and then tried to find someone else that also likes a specific thing, the Kiss, and are just less female musicians than guys, so it was a bit difficult.
Right.
So anyway, I knew her because of that. They asked me to come over because they knew I did this cover, Touch of Evil with Judas Priest, and they said, yeah, we're having some festivals. Can you please be ready? So after I came over, they thought, she's going to be all right. I wasn't sure of that myself, but they thought, we trust that. Right. Just do it. And I was like, okay, yeah, nice. Right. Woo, I was super happy.
But how did the audition, was there an audition, or it was just like, let's just do it, like, let's see what happens? If I know it correctly, the band is from Switzerland. Is it all based in Switzerland? And you, by the way, who the people don't know, are residing still in Netherlands, and you are from Netherlands, meaning Holland, for those who don't know what Netherlands is. So how was that?
The Netherlands.
Exactly. So how did that thing happen? Did you have to go to Switzerland, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had to book a ticket, right? So it was just at Schiphol for people that know that word, horrible word to pronounce for most people. But yeah, that's it. I mean, for me also, pretty new to travel that far for music, right? It's like, if you've never done that before, it's like, whoa, I'm actually going on a plane to Switzerland to make music. It's really weird, yeah.
Right.
But it was cool.
Right. Well, that's awesome. So what's the plan of Burning Witches? If I know you have to talk about the date that the album is coming out, and you got to tell us all about it. You have just released the single as well, and which, by the way, people, you were able to check out all the Laura's links in the chat. And of course, if you go in the description of the video, you'll be able to see the links there as well. So tell us more about that. How was the process of making the album? How long did it take? How is the process? Like, who writes the most stuff, and how do you guys work together to make things happen?
Yeah, actually Romana is the main songwriter, so she always makes the song structure. She comes with the most ideas also. And then, basically she sends me like a few chords, a little bit of the song structure, of course, not just a few chords, but maybe a piece of the song, maybe almost the whole song already. Most of the time she records it together with Larissa then. So I have a little bit more than just chords, but it could be just acoustic.
So
sometimes
these members, they say, these members, they play what instrument?
Oh yeah, they're both guitarists. Yeah. So sorry, I forgot to mention. Yeah. So just guitars, the riffs, and they record at home. They also recorded at home for the to send it to the studio eventually. So it was easy to save a little bit of budget also for a really cool video clip we have coming up. And yeah, I just, got the feel a bit of because of the guitar. So sometimes, like, yeah, what's the songwriting process? Yeah, like usual, I just then, I write because I know the theme that we were going to use was The Witch of the North. So I got in mind, Vikings, cold, snow, kind of the winter sun vibes there, by the way, if you think of it, right? Icy landscapes. Anyway, I know the theme, So before any of the other songs got sent to me, because it all started with The Witch of the North, I made like a whole list of subjects I would like to write about and that are kind of in this theme. And then when they send me a song, I just listen to it, maybe think of some melodies, and I go through this list and I try to find the best, song ID I had for lyrics, and then I try to connect those two. And, then we just write back and forth with pieces of the song, or maybe, an whole ID, like a rough ID. And that's how we do it. And we just write back and forth until it's there.
Right. So, how long has it been that you've been in the band now, and how many shows have you done with the band?
Yeah, it must be 2 years.
Right.
I think, yeah, it's about 40 gigs, because after that Corona came. So it's not that much, and it's kind of sad because we would have done like 50-ish gigs or more in 2020, but
right.
Only 5 now or 6, something like that.
Yeah. Right. Well, that sucks definitely. So what is now the thing that you do in order to compensate the time or all these live shows that you've had? How do you maintain your musical career in that particular case, like career that it carries on? How do you carry yourself through that?
Yeah, I definitely am, a kind of person that likes to have some pressure to get stuff done. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to commit to a Patreon page. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing is some people, really like that there's a little bit extra interaction, and it's fun to give them that. And it's also for me, a reason why I have to keep making music, even without having to for a gig or for an album in this case. Right. So I really love this because it kind of helps also. Like I said, one of my main motivations is to keep developing as a singer. So
you talked about Patreon. Now, talk about a little bit about your Patreon. How did you come about that idea? What do you do in Patreon, and what Patreon is? How you can, for instance, how you can sell it to the chat here. What is your Patreon about?
So my Patreon is about it kind of revolves around covers that I make. So mostly classical rock and metal, and I try to at least do it once a month. Sometimes it's a bit more, but for example, if I would be on tour for a long time, then it would be less. But at the moment, I have like around 5 covers in the making, actually more, 7 or 6, 7 or 8 even. Yeah. Anyway, there are a lot of covers in the making, and I also do a live stream every, I don't know, half a year, I think, when touring starts. Now at the moment I'm trying every 3 months, but definitely when touring starts, I probably do it maybe once every half year. But I try to do some covers of that I also did for the Patreons. I will do them also live. And I give them backstage material. I offered, which of course now is not happening, but I offered them to get them a beer if I would see them, on an event.
All right.
Yeah.
So you definitely mentioned about here that you stream also.
Yeah.
Where do you stream? Do you stream privately for the patrons, or?
I actually tried out a few things. I think by now I tried Facebook, and we tried also YouTube, I think, or whatever. But now we just go to Twitch. It's probably best because people say it's best. Now we just go to Twitch, and Yeah, so it's Twitch. You can find it.
Right. So
Yeah.
now, the as we are running out of time, now I gotta be few questions that I would like to ask.
Ooh,
Would
I will talk
be
fast.
the first, like, the funniest tour story that comes to your mind right about now.
Right about now, funniest tour story. I liked, okay, that just pops into my mind is actually because we went to Poland in a tour bus like a week ago or something. So it's, to be honest, that's the first one that pops into mind. And it was Tosche Tours. Don't know if you ever saw the guy Tosche Tours.
Nope.
It's a great guy, and he's just funny. He has this Buddha in the front of his tour bus, and the Buddha has this hair thingy going on where it's like this, like a pineapple. You can see the picture on my Instagram, by the way. It looks funny. So I saw this thing first, right? I didn't see him yet, but I saw that he has this Buddha in the front of the tour bus, and 10 minutes later, I see him coming to the tour bus. And he has the exact same hair as the Buddha in front of that
Oh wow.
tour bus.
Right.
Yeah, it was just funny. It's like his logo and the Buddha are exactly like his hair, and it's like the smiling Buddha. You know what I mean? And it's this, yeah, like exactly the same as the Buddha. Anyway, I just asked him at some point. So did you found that Buddha? Did you make that Buddha's hair like that because you have the same hair? And I was kind of curious, and I basically asked him, what would you do? How would you change your hairstyle? And because it's his logo, and yeah, basically he said, yeah, I changed my hair for the Buddha.
For the Buddha.
Yeah, it's for that. Yeah. Not that he's religious, but
Right.
he got apparently. I'm not sure if it's true, but he got now. It just seems like he got that Buddha, changed his hair, made
Right.
it his thing. It was so funny. Anyway.
Right. Right. Okay, I
Yeah.
got another question now coming from Eilish. He wanted to know that did the pandemic affect the writing process for the new music, or is
The
it
writing. Oh yeah.
or is it
Actually,
already normal for you guys to write in your own spaces?
yeah. It's kind of actually in Switzerland they could still visit each other, and it's allowed to go with groups of people at each other's home. So it's easy to do that. So basically, it's the same as always because okay, I was not allowed to, and in the Netherlands you're only allowed to have one person to visit officially. Don't think everyone does that, but yeah. So, but it's okay because yeah, we're already used to it because I live in the Netherlands. I can't be there always because I also have to work here, and I can't do that in Switzerland. So
Mm-hmm.
I always, yeah, we're used to it. It's okay.
Right. Right. And talking about writing process, you have your website as well by the same name, uh, uh, lauraguldemond.com, and there's a
Mhm.
possibility to actually contact you regarding vocal lessons as well. Now, what is that
Mhm.
all about? Would you like to explain that? How did you come about becoming a vocal coach, or
Mhm.
how has the okay, first let's get into that. That how did he become a vocal coach? How did he come to that idea?
Uh, Yeah, it's kind of because I really like singing. It's also really, I'm just getting enthusiastic about also how, the how of it. And that's why, yeah, I just like to help people with it, and I can earn money with it. So why not? It's a really nice way for me to earn some money. And I just love to help people reaching their own personal goals. So whatever you want to learn, yeah, I can help it with anything because by now I know how everything works. I really studied for it, and I figured everything out. So yeah, I love to help people with that basically. So
Right. So has now the COVID somehow affected your vocal coaching, or have you already been doing that online beforehand also? Or have
yeah,
you found
exactly.
now another
So
way of doing it somehow?
Yeah, it's just online is okay because everyone has a smartphone, you know, and a smartphone these days usually are good enough to use as a webcam and a microphone. So yeah, it's good. There are people always taking lessons with me this way, and I have some people coming over in the Netherlands. But yeah, then it's a bit difficult during the pandemic because not always it's really allowed. So sometimes I have to take a break, or someone gets a cold and doesn't come over. Maybe some people are too young, kind of, you know, to do it via Skype. I do it with more grown-up people. It's okay, you know, but very young people, it's a bit more difficult, I think. So, but yeah, Skype is fine too. So yeah, both, but not always physical.
Right, right. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you a personal question about a band, about the band. Who are you most closest with in the band?
Ah, oh, that's a good question again. I really like Larissa because she is so super chill. She's a bit of an introvert too, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
also a little bit of an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think I feel most comfortable with her because of that, I guess. Because if, for example, because every time I come over to Switzerland, I have to stay at people's homes, you know. So I'm
Yeah.
either on the couch or maybe I have my own room, but I kind of just but probably on the couch in the living room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because she is a bit of an introvert, it's really chill. I know what's going to happen. I know when people come over. You know, it's a bit more organized. And if I go with Romana and Damir, which I really love, they're lovely people. They're really awesome. They're super sweet, super social. But hey, Damir, Romana, what's happening this Monday? Do I have the day off? What's happening? You know, and they say, yeah, oh yeah, you have the whole day, and then then first people pick me up to do a corona test. I get this sort of thing, you know, put into my nose,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the first thing that happens on the day, on my free day.
Right.
And then in the evening, people come over. It's fun, you know, but it's just for me as an introvert, I can't handle that. You know, so that's
So
why I choose Larissa in this case.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Who is the party person in the band the most?
Oh, definitely Jay. Jay is a really big party animal.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm too, but to be honest, I'm more of a party animal after a concert because then I'm super hyped and I'm like, yeah, yeah, you know, but metal, woo. But Jay is a party animal everywhere, I think. Yeah.
All right. All right. Now,
I think there was probably a period in her life she went out every evening.
oh wow.
Now it's of
Okay.
course hard with Corona. Yeah, she at some point in her life, and not now, but yes, she is a party animal.
I see. Uh, favorite drink? What would that be?
Ooh, definitely. I mean, okay, I know you because you say drink, I have to think of alcoholic drinks, or can it be anything? Or
Well, I mean, like if you drink a cola on a party, that's then fine with you as well. But I was talking about like a party drink.
party drink, party
Mhm.
drink. Okay, it's definitely vermouth. I really love. Yeah, martini. Most people know it as the white martini, but I love the. It doesn't matter for me as long as it's white vermouth.
Mhm.
Perfect with a little bit of ice. I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as I said, like we're gonna rush into the questions. What is your favorite cuisine?
My favorite cuisine. Oh, I have to. Oh, I have to answer fast now. That's difficult.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, you're asking like, oh, especially if you say, oh, you have to do it now, then it gets very difficult for me.
Well, that's
Most
that
people,
right.
most people don't know that about me, I think, but I have a bit of ADD. So as soon as you say, oh, you have to choose now, I'm like,
I
so
see.
yeah, I
All
think
right.
let's go for donuts. Let's go for donuts. They're like super
Okay. That
fat and juicy and sweet.
yeah, but I was asking about a
I like
favorite.
bad food.
Yeah, but I was asking
My
about a
favorite
favorite
healthy food.
cuisine.
My favorite.
Cuisine.
Oh, you mean like okay. In that case, I could go for Italian because almost everything is good in Italian cuisine.
All right. Okay.
And,
Italian
and
food.
healthy, pretty healthy too, so it's good. Yeah.
Right. So, food-wise, you mentioned that you like donuts the most.
Yeah.
All right. Just because
Yeah.
they're just because they are sweet.
Because they're not just because because they're fat too. You know, everything unhealthy is in there, so that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you cook as well? Do you
Yeah.
like to cook?
No.
I
I
see.
don't like to because I don't like to spend too much time cooking, but I try to do it healthily a little bit. So I try to spend my time cooking, making carbohydrate low cuisine. So it's
Hmm.
like a little bit less carbs and especially less fast carbs. So actually, I try not to take the sugar because I know it really helps me focus better without too much sugar and high glycemic index food.
I see. I see. Okay. Now, the okay, the question just ran out of my mind right now, which was interestingly, it
Okay.
was off the topic of food, but it has something to do
Oh.
with gigs again. Your favorite
Oh.
gig of all times? It can have festival as well. It can be considered a festival
Can
also.
I have a festival? Ah. By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt your questioning, but if you want, I can stay. I think I can stay a little bit longer, unless someone messaged me for 8 o'clock. No, they didn't. Okay. No, I can stay a bit longer. Do you want me to stay a bit longer?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, like, because we agreed on the time till 9, so we gotta.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Am I still on camera because I switched screens? Doesn't matter, right, for Discord?
No, you're still on the camera. Yes, you're still
Okay,
there.
great. Let me try to get back to the camera. Okay, so what's my favorite gig? You said, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay, my favorite gig that I played or that I visited.
Played that you can
Played.
remember, like the best show
Um,
that you have had.
yeah, it has to be. It has to be Wacken because it was the first gig of that festival and in on one of the bigger stages. So we were at a I think wet stage of this tent, you know, and it was the first one that it was like announced like super huge. People were super excited for Wacken to start. It was crazy because people are so extremely excited and yeah, it was so much fun. And it was my birthday and it was a surprise because I entered the band and it was my fifth gig with them. So
Uh-huh.
it's pretty intense, you know, to be the fifth gig with a band to be on Wacken. But it was
Right.
really nice. Yeah, that's definitely until now my favorite.
Right. Okay. Well, that's cool. That's cool. So that is what you remember. Now, which is the
Hmm.
favorite gig that you have seen, or what is the gig that you remember of all times was the
Yeah,
best for you?
that one's very easy for me because I was just blown away by the whole show. I'm really a sucker for theatrical aspects, and Alice Cooper is really good at that. So I loved his show. I really loved it. Yeah, because of the theatrical stuff happening. It was amazing.
All right. All right. What is the
At Grass Pop, by the way. Yeah.
grass pop? Okay, I see. But what would be the
Yeah.
country that you would love to live in, or is your favorite country that you want to? Not because of
I would.
any particular. Okay, favorite country and why?
Hmm, that I would want to live in. Okay, just favorite country. Um, difficult. Mm, yeah. Uh, I don't feel like I've been in enough countries yet to know exactly, but I definitely, for example, like Greece because people, are, you know, as far as I noticed, are super open, easygoing, and you know, warm people, and it was so nice. And I've been there, and I just also love that it's a bit warmer over there. So I would say probably any Mediterranean country because
Hmm.
it's probably kind of the culture that I like there.
Right.
But let's keep it to Greece for now.
Greece. All right. Interesting. Now, as as we are short on time as well, but there would be only few questions that we would talk about more, and
Mm.
people who are here watching in the live chat as well. Still, can ask some questions as we still have a little bit of time to go. But
Mhm.
now, what is the plan that Burning Witches have for the coming year or already in 2021 at the end? I mean, what is the whole plan? What should we be expecting from the band?
Wow. We are going, hopefully, if Corona is okay and stuff, of course, we will go to do a European tour with Primal Fear. So that's nice. It will start in autumn and end somewhere in winter 2022. Yeah, to two. It's like we missed a whole year, right? Because of Corona. It's always weird to
Right.
say, oh, that's already done.
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely are trying to organize when the time is there to go to the USA, to North and South America, Japan, you know. So there's cool stuff coming.
Yeah.
As soon as we get rid of Corona.
I understand. I understand. What would be the band that you would like to tour with?
Ooh, I think Judas Priest would be a really really cool band to tour with. So I would go for Judas Priest because they're legends. You know, you can't. Yeah, that's why.
Interesting. Interesting. Now, the Gaming Metal Mouse has a question for you. If you didn't make music for a living, what would you do?
What would we do? What would I do? I would probably be a little bit depressed. And that's not a joke, by the way, because I know if I do any job full time, I get depressed. I'm not even kidding. I need music. But I would probably be in sales. I finished industrial product design as a studies,
Mm-hmm.
but it was not only focused on design. It was also focused a lot on technical stuff. And by the time I finished my studies, I kind of got, a little bit of an aversion for the technical stuff. So I was kind of fed up already. So I finished the studies that I wouldn't really want to really do something with it probably. Although if there would exist such a thing as an ideal job, I would just come up with ideas. And yeah, because I just like to think creatively, I think, in general.
Right.
But I discovered I'm really good at sales, and it kind of also saved my ass because musicianship is always a bit difficult to earn money in. For some people, it isn't because maybe they're just too good and it's too easy for them to make a lot of money. I don't know. But for me, it stays a bit difficult. So I'm just doing the sales, also, and I'm really good at that. So I probably would have ended up in sales anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And would Holland still be the country that you might be living in, or would it be Greece?
Ideally, I would just want to go to a country where I do want to be able to speak with people, and not everyone I think speaks English very well there. And I need to be. I'm not that natural at learning languages. I know English because it's so easy in the Netherlands to learn it because everything's English. So I would want to go to a warm English-speaking country, maybe America where it's warm, but that's difficult with visa, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But something like that. Probably
Right.
America. English.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay, now as we are coming to the nearer to the end of the talk, I would first of all like to thank all the people who have come to see the live chat. This was actually my first live chat on YouTube. We have done already a couple of earlier streams here on YouTube, but as most of you know already that I do a lot of Twitch streams, and right after this, I would be heading to my Twitch channel to stream as well anyways, so you're more than welcome to do that. But before we leave, there's a very important question that needs to be asked, and that is a part of the whole community aspect of my Discord server that goes around without saying that is something to do with food. And the question is, as you have said that you are a fan of Italian food and you like Italian cuisine in that sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is something to do with a pizza.
Uh-huh.
And the ingredient on it, if it is a yes or if it is a no.
Ananas. Yes. No?
So you are for yes without even me saying it.
I'm for the pineapple, but I'm not sure what you wanted to say. Okay,
Exactly.
but I'm
So you are
now
for...
I made a very stupid mistake, or what?
Well, that's up to you. That's why I asked you a question, and I'm pretty sure that the community wants to know as well. That do you say yes to pineapple pizza or do you say no to pineapple pizza?
It was pineapple.
Yes or no? It was pineapple. Yes. So it's a pineapple. Yes on a pineapple. Yes for a pineapple pizza or no?
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go. So community knows as well. Fair enough. My community knows my answer, and my community knows my stand on it. So that's that. Apparently, right?
What's your stand on it?
It's a definite no. It does not belong
Okay.
on a pizza. It belongs
All
by
right.
itself. It's nicer for it to be by itself, right? So this is where we differ. That
All right.
is, yeah. So there's one no and the other is yes. So that's fine. That's totally fine.
All right.
But
So
yeah,
now comes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
you
This
were
was the
saying
first.
something.
It was the first of April joke that's in there. I was still expecting something really bad happening, but this was all. This is okay. I can live with ananas pineapple pizzas.
Right. Well, nothing bad, That's all good, all good. One guy has asked, Ilka Petteri has asked from Finland that, Laura, do you like Finnish metal?
I love Finnish metal.
All right. Well, what would be your favorite band that you listen to or have listened to?
Okay, I'm going to disappoint all the Winterson fans now. But I definitely love Beast in Black because the melodies, the songwriting, it's so fun, so melodic. I love that. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Beast in Black still is nowadays on your playlist.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because of and what I think I also believe this is pretty melodic because of course I listen to Winterson. I also listen to Whispered. That's also Finnish, right?
Yes, they're
yeah.
Finnish band as well.
There's so many good like super melodic metal bands from Finland for some reason.
Correct.
Yeah, I love that.
This land is full of it, indeed. But I would like to thank you for sure for coming to the chat, and I wouldn't be taking much of your time because you have other obligations to do, I believe. And
yeah, I like it's just that all the interviews now start for the album release with Burning Riches, so that's why I'm.
That album release is when exactly?
28th of May. The Witch of the North.
Right, that is excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, please definitely go in the description below. You would be able to find all the links of Laura, as you see on her side of the screen, and below that you would see the YouTube link, you would see the Facebook link, and the Instagram link as well. And in the chat, you're able to just see all the links of Laura there for now. And I'll be updating the description later, so you're able to see the rest of the links as well. So I have to thank you for coming.
It's a whole list.
it's a long list, indeed. Yes.
It is a long list now. All right.
But I have to thank you. Thank you very much for coming to the show. And I wish you all the best with the album release and, of course, the interviews. And certainly I hope that, the things get better in Netherlands, and that, the musicians can once again live like normally as they lived before.
I hope so too. Yep.
That would definitely be great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would be continuing the stream within about 15-20 minutes. I'll head over to Twitch, so you know my Twitch account. If you don't, then twitch.tv/my name, Asem Sierra. And I would be seeing you guys there in about 15 to 20 minutes. Now, I would have to go and do a bit of a minor business, and we can imagine I'll let the imagination be of your imagination what I have to do. But,
okay.
But all the best, good luck, take care, and till the next time.
You too. Now I have to, by the way, I have the feeling now I have to invite you and ask you questions because I didn't ask you any questions.
Of course. Well, this was the stream about you, not about me, so definitely not a problem.
Okay.
We could think about it some other time regarding
We'll do
asking me
that. Yeah.
questions. Right on.
All right.
Well, there were other questions that we would have asked, but definitely, ladies and gentlemen, you can comment, and afterward the video will stay on YouTube as well, so you can comment down below and talk and follow Laura and ask her the questions there as well, if you please. All right, take care. Have a good
Take
evening.
care.
We'll see
You
us
too. Bye-bye.
very soon. Cheerio.